Oh, package from China. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's video we are going to talk about the new portable system from a friend from China. It's time for the X9S. Yes, they have a new version. They're telling me it's improved in many ways, so I'm very curious. What are we going to get? So let's do a little bit of an overview about the system, the box itself, and let's have some fun. So first of all, the box itself is totally different. They did a totally redone of the box, so that is new. Most of the time, like with the retro game, they're just slapping a new sticker on it, and that's it. So I'm very curious. This one comes with a 5.1 inch screen. Pretty damn huge, but does it have a good view angle? So, alright, let's do this unboxing together. Very curious, how is this thing looking and how does it work? Here we have the system itself. Ooh, toilet paper manual. I really love those toilet paper manuals. Different languages. Ooh, we even have a warranty card. A 2-in-1. Power supply. We're having an AV out cable. Ooh, this one got even stereo sound. You don't see that very often. And some cheap crappy headphones. And the cable to charge the system because it's got a built-in battery. Let's take a close look at the system. Alright, let's check out what we're having here. I can already tell you, it's a totally different model. I have never seen this one before. This is totally different. They swapped out a lot of things. Looks very nice. Alright, got a very nice weight to it this time. So at the left side we're finding the D-pad. And yes people, again they didn't have a hollow D-pad, it's just 4 little buttons. I know in my previous video a lot of people hated it, so they never learn, don't they? We have an analog stick here and the menu button. I know you can hear it on the camera, but oh yeah, this thing is very clickish. At the right side we're having 4 buttons, more like these crystal transparent crystal buttons. Analog stick and the select and start. Very clickish. And at the top we're finding 2 shoulder buttons, AV out, the on and off switch, CF slot, USB for charging and data transfer. We're having volume control and again a power button for powering on and off. Alright, so we have 2 on and off switches. Alright, what can we find on the back? Here we're having this crappy camera. Keep in mind, these are very low quality, don't expect much from it. We're having here, normally you would say we're having here 2 speakers, but that's not true. I've tested it out, of course, before making this video and only having 1 speaker. I freaking hate it, because I really love it when they have 2 speakers for the perfect stereo sound. They ripped off this from the PlayStation Vita. There's only an 8GB version, pretty damn weird because in the previous models most of them were 60GB, but alright, nevertheless, this is what we're going to get. Alright, I'm very curious, let's power it on. What are we going to get? Whoa, that took a long time. If you have seen my previous videos, I have seen this intro many times now. Alright, so they even ripped the menu of the PSVita, the style of it. It's still a little bit slow, like the previous models. As you can see, we have a delay when pressing the buttons. But alright, nevertheless, what are we going to get? We're having games. This is just games, so if you press this one, you go to a back menu. Here you can choose Run Recent List and the directory. So you're going to search within the console itself. We're having GBA, so if you're pressing this one, you go to all the GBA games, to the arcade games. As you can see, we're going to the same menu, so a little bit pointless if you ask me. Alright, what do we have more? Music, all this basic stuff, microphone. If you are into this stuff, maybe this can be an extra feature, but personally I'm reviewing this pure for the gameplay. And I'm guessing a lot of people are watching for the too. Let's see what we have here. Some quick buttons. So far I know you cannot swap them out, so there's a big problem with this. So if let's say your file behind this go corrupt or something goes wrong, you have a problem, you have a dead link on it. So there's a little bit of a bummer. So if you go to the settings, it's more like the same with all the other versions. I'm going to show you here. We have some basic things like display, power saving. If you want to use the TV out, you need to power it on over here. If you don't do this, it will not work. It's not like a plug and play. And advanced, we can find a lot of other stuff like even select font and effect settings. There are a lot of stuff going on. I think it's more like the same if you look at the previous model, but we're going to do that, or we're going to see it in a comparison. All right. This is all about the system itself, how the menu looks. So let's play some games and let's see what happens. Alright, if you want to add games to the portable system, it's pretty damn simple. And that's it. As you can see, card in. Alright, it's accepted by the system. If it's giving you an error, I can make a tutorial about it, because there is there's some weird stuff going on with these Chinese knockoff systems. Not every CF card is going to work on this thing, or every format. So how do you go to the games? It's pretty damn simple. You go to the browse function, and what you can see, if you choose card directory, you go into the CF card and you play some games. So a quick test, how is the view angle? As you can see, it's decent for a system like this. Alright, the first game, we're going to test out some PlayStation. Alright, did it improve? The music is great, but the frame rate is freaking horrible. So like always, we're going to try out a two-dimensional game, and the music sounds good. Good sound effects. Do you know what I think? It's the same problem like all the other versions. Two-dimensional games are not pretty heavy to emulate, and the three-dimensionals are a totally different story. Even the analog stick works. So, Crash Bandicoot is a very nice game to test out. It's a three-dimensional game, but some of these systems can run the game decent. But what you can see, it's very low frame rate, and it is having a lot of problems with this game. Just in overall, it's pretty damn unplayable this way. I can play it. I've played it too much, but that's not the point. The point is, so as you can see, the frame rate is coming back sometimes, but in overall, three-dimensional games is a no-go on the system. That's one thing to be sure. Alright, next game from the Neo Geo. My favorite game. Very nice game to test out, the analog stick. The D-pad is pretty damn horrible to play fighting games, so I'm not even going to try it. It's glitching. It's playable. It's not the best. It's not the best frame rate I've seen. Okay, let's try some moves. So the analog stick is responsive enough for doing some moves. Let's try a Mega Drive game, the first generation. And when playing this this game, then I'm going to try it, or let's say a later version. Super move. Give us electric stuff, that's just like Thor. As you can hear, the soundtrack sounds pretty nice and good. Oh yeah, that was something that I really need to point out. So there is no jumping button. So the game is unplayable. It is possible to fix. So if you're pressing the menu button, you can go to settings. And yes, we can remap it. So if you remapped it, I'm guessing you're going to need to do this for freaking every game you want to play, but you need to remap it once and save it. So it will save the settings and you can jump. So keep that one in mind. Alright, let's try another game. Alright, Sonic 3. And as you already can see and hear, it sounds like shit. I think I'm going to cry in a corner or something like this. I hate it when they do this. So, the emulator on this thing, it sucks. I must say, if you look at the frame rate itself, it's pretty damn decent, but it's the sound that is so horrible. Let's play a little bit. Now we can use the D-pad. Just because sometimes the frame rate is decent, but in overall, oh my god. Oh, the freaking sound delay. Alright, Super Famicom. This is going to be interesting. As you can hear, the sound is not bad at all. But here it comes. As you can hear, you have this up and go down of the freaking frame rate. It's very unstable. Whoa. I'm going very slow. But the funny thing is, now we're going to play the game. It sounds good. So I have seen this problem before. I have seen this problem many times now. All the sound effects are here. Even if you listen to the soundtrack. Maybe it sounds a little bit slow. But overall, the game is playable at the moment. Let's try out an arcade game. Alright. I hear some weird stuff going on with the soundtracks. But the frame rate is decent. Oh, here it is. Ow. Come on, boy. I must say the D-pad is not very comfy. I can tell you that. It's not perfect. Not at all. Just jab the bastard. I knew I was going to do that. Alright, a little fun fact. For example, you can play this game in 3 ways. You can play it full screen, you can play it like this, I really love this. Or you have the original mode that you only have in this tiny Game Boy screen. Personally, this is one I really prefer. You can use the screen settings for, so far I know, almost every emulator. So that's pretty awesome. Alright. Sounds promising. Game Boy runs pretty damn nice. I can tell you these buttons are freaking horrible. It's even sticking a little bit. This one not. This one I have no problem at all, but this one, the right one, ooh. So the D-pad, even for games like this, is going to be a challenge if you want to play it. Alright, let's play a Game Boy Advance game. No weird music. Decent frame rate. And even Game Boy Color games are supported with the system, and it does sound great. Crank up the volume. So nice. They play nice. Very cool. They still didn't fix the emulator over NES. The funny fact is there are some portable systems that emulate this thing pretty nice, but this... How can I do my Crashman dance if the soundtrack is not good? Wow. I cannot do the Crashman dance people on this song. Wow, there is not even a sound effect for that one. They're making clones for so long now, and they still didn't even put the effort or just grabbing a new emulator or fix the problem, man. As you can see, the frame rate is pretty damn decent. Okay guys, so the conclusion is very simple. When you're looking at the first models I've reviewed, they did some minor adjustments when it comes to the software and the layout. But in the end, when you're looking at emulation performance, it's going to be like the same problems. A little bit of a bummer, but yeah, this is something I was already expecting even when I was unboxing it. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.